Well, thank you guys for taking a few minutes to be with us, be a part of us. I always like to share with the artists that our target audience is a younger generation. It is actually Gen Z who is our target audience. That's who's listening. And we are absolutely excited about the fact of exposing them to good music, good programming, which you guys get to be a big part of that. We don't want them just to think they're hearing music, so-and-so artist is singing. We want them to get to know who you are. So what I'd like for you to do is kind of introduce yourself and tell something a little about yourself so that our audience can learn a little bit about you. So,
Justin, you want to go first? Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, my name is Justin Owens. I am new to the Pine Ridge Boys. I started in January. I've been singing since before I can even remember. My family was always involved with music, playing instruments by ear. Only thing I can pick is nothing. I can't play a lick on anything. I can sing. I am young at heart, but turning to be the middle in between. So I'm the middle-ish now, which is unusual because I'm always used to being the young one in the group. So now I'm in the middle, but they like to tease me. And don't let me forget that I'm the next old one. So
yeah, it happens to all of us when we get there.
Well, I'm Jackson Smith. I've been here since 2022, and I sing the baritone part, and I've been singing publicly since I was 13. And I'm the baby of the group. I don't look it, but I'm only 19, and I sing baritone part. And
that face is what everybody gives us. It is.
It's a privilege to do it.
There you go.
All right. My name is Matthew Benton. I started about a month after Jackson in 2022. I'm the lead singer. I don't know if you said it. Jackson's baritone. Justin's our tenor singer. I started singing. My dad's a pastor. Mom plays the piano. Always had me sing and hated it. Hated to sing. Mom and Dad said it's time to sing at church. Hated it. But then the Lord really worked in my heart. He saved me, and He gave me a song. And that's pretty much it I can say about me.
So where are you guys from? Where are you kind of based out of?
So the group is based out of a little town called Inman, South Carolina.
Okay.
If you want to know where it's near, Spartanburg is a big metropolitan area. But I am from an even smaller town, about 40 minutes south, called Piedmont, South Carolina. If you've ever heard of the Life FM, they are stationed out of the same town.
Yes.
So I'm not too far from them.
Awesome. So our target audience I mentioned is that younger generation. And one of the things that we've been involved with is a lot of the research studies as to looking at that generation. And it's been interesting. There's been some secular groups that have done some studies, some church groups, some religious groups have done studies. And they both came to the same conclusion with this younger generation. The number one issue they have is they actually believe everybody's lying to them. Social media, they know it's not real, it's all fake. They're to the point anymore you can tell them a news story, it's fake. They look at all those things. But when they followed up, they said, so what is the solution? What are we looking for? Overwhelmingly, they've come back and said, we're just waiting for somebody to tell us the truth. And which I think is very unique to your generation as opposed to some of our generation, that they're actually saying, we want somebody to tell us the truth. Everything we see, we know is fake. And so that's what we believe gospel music is so powerful because the message is the truth.
Yeah.
It's hitting there. So as you guys put together the music and you put together the songs, what do you usually wrap around as far as, hey, this is a song we want to sing, this is a song we want to record? What does that look like?
Well, of course it has to be our style. We're more of a traditional quartet, so of course it has to be our style. But more importantly, it has to have a biblically based message in the song. It has to be something that can touch us and minister to us, because if it doesn't minister to us, then how are we going to be able to use it to minister to somebody else? And of course, like you said, it has to have 100% truth. We don't want nothing watered down.
Good.
Like it is.
So as you go through that process and look at what are some of the things that have been kind of themes or things that you kind of been gravitating to?
I know for me, because I'm still new, we have a new song that was given to me to sing, and our owner, Larry Stewart, Justin, I want you to learn this song because I think it's a good one for you. So I started listening to it. And having the advantage of a little bit more age than the younger two, there are things that happen in life that help you realize what the truth is. And when in a song begins to minister to you, like Jackson said, and it speaks to us and it gives us that truth, I call it connecting with that song.
Yeah.
I know that if I connected with that song, then that's something that I want to share. It becomes part of your testimony for me. Now, Matthew and Jackson can talk about our last CD, Faithful, because they were heavily involved in picking the songs out of hundreds of songs.
So,
Yeah, I think me and Jackson, we had about probably around 50
We narrowed it down.
songs, and it was very difficult to narrow it down because when you get to the point where you kind of overthink it, you kind of like, well, we want to make sure that we have the best songs, the best project out there that possibly can happen. And the 10 or now 11 we have on the CD, I really think every single one of them is just have been picked and ordained by the Lord. Because listen, we don't do it for fame or money. We do it because the Lord's given us three the gift to put that message out there. And there's a lot of people, especially people our age, you're talking about, they'll go to a concert before they'll go to a preaching service.
yeah.
And a lot of times you'll see, if you see up on the platform, people around your own age, as you say that people are looking for the truth, they'll look at us and say, hey, they must know something I don't, and they'll be more curious. And that's all we're trying to do is just continue the kingdom and help others, old and young, and everybody in the middle, to point them to Christ. And that's all we do it for.
So you mentioned coming in the South Carolina area. So where does your travels take you? Where all of you?
Everywhere on the East Coast.
And
We would go further if we were asked, but
Right.
right now it's just the East Coast.
We go up to Buffalo and then all the way down to Florida. We were asked to go up to Canada.
Yep.
I think we
We're
were
arranging
planning
that.
something.
We
Yeah.
Get that ironed out.
we
We're
actually
working on
next
it
year will be leaving the country for the first time and going to the Caribbean.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Well, I will tell you, we have listening audience all over North America and in Great Britain. So hopefully maybe we can, spur up some interest here for you guys to be able to go. And I know traveling, a lot of times people look and say, oh, you get to travel, that's so glamorous. So let's get ugly here. What's the ugly part of traveling?
These two right here.
Oh man.
That was a quick answer there.
It's always the
thinking
one
about
that's
it.
really the ugly one that says it.
Yeah, it's the one that didn't realize. Yeah, that's the, yeah.
So people think, like you said, it's glamorous and it's all fun. Like you have in your mind it's a holiday. Like that's all we're doing is we're sitting on the bus going back and forth doing nothing. But there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
Setting up of the equipment, constant communication between us and someone that has us coming or a church. I mean, when you don't see us singing doesn't mean that we're not doing something else. It's behind the scenes, most of it. What you get is when everything is settled down, you come in and you see what we've set up.
You see the fun part, the singing and all that.
But it is literally a 24-hour-a-day type job. Well, I wouldn't call it a job because it's more of a ministry and a calling.
Yeah.
But it's 24 hours. We can get calls, and it's happened while we're here. Someone needing help and said, "Hey, can you guys do this for me?" Sure, we'll help. And it just turn of a hat can change.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and that's the part that, again, this generation, you pull up your phone, you see all that stuff, and they say, oh, it's got to be fake. So sometimes they'll look and see you guys, or they'll see us and say, oh, same thing. But I want them to understand there's more behind the scenes. And you didn't want to use the word job, but it's work.
It is.
It's a job, but it's what makes it worth it is seeing that end result.
Right.
And so we want them to be able to see, look, you guys are out there. There's some ugly bars, all the stuff you got to do, so that they can see what you guys present in your music, the sound. And I love the old style. That again, you think, oh, new generation. Everything becomes new again, and they're looking for something that's genuine and real.
We'll take the awards today. Inspirations. those young guys took everything that they
Yeah.
could.
Yeah,
As old style as they get.
And they're younger than us.
yeah, and that's what I think
Well,
is
maybe
a
younger than you,
well, yeah. Relatively speaking, yeah, I know how that goes. You guys are all younger than I am, so. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're looking for some things that are sitting there going, "This is real." The authenticity of it, those things that are there, and that's what I appreciate, guys. What you guys do, and what so many others are doing in this industry, because the secular music out there, they also know there's been a computer that has adjusted some sounds and they've done this and they put all this show together. But it's just what you get on stage is not what you get behind the scenes, which is what I love about gospel music, is what you see, you're going to see that as the concert ends and as you minister. So what are you seeing as far as the audiences, your interaction with them? What are some things that you see with them? This goes to the good part of what you guys
I'll
get to
let
do.
Matthew talk about last Sunday morning.
Yeah, last Sunday morning, we obviously we put the Lord first, but we have a good time. I know I've personally been to a lot of concerts, a lot of singings that they go up there and they sing, they don't really talk or nothing, and they get to sit down and get over with and try to make some money. But we're just not about that. We have a good time, and we make we poke at each other and we have a good time. And last Sunday morning was one of those services that, like Justin said, there's a lot of work. With how many dates we do a year, I think we're on track to do about a little over 100 this year.
That's good.
And with all those dates, and when we go up to Buffalo, stuff like that, it is just you miss birthdays, you miss stuff like that, and sometimes you can sit there on the bus and think, is it worth it? Am I a horrible person for missing this? Last Sunday morning we did Invitation, and there's a song that we sing on our new album that's called "I Found a Faithful Friend." And a gentleman came down and received the Lord Sunday morning. And it's in those moments, and I know I can speak for the gentleman here, that you can really sit back and say, you know what, it's all worth it. Because, we're laying up heavenly treasures. That's the most important thing. And we love what we do.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's when you see that end result, it gives you that renewed energy. We can keep doing this, and I want to encourage you guys to keep doing what you're doing, because your generation is looking for what you guys have to offer. And I know they may kid you about being the old one, but you're still right in the mix of all this. So I appreciate that, because again, this is the powerful thing that I've been experiencing in my own life now, that you look at the number of people, even in our industry and personally, my parents passing away. Well, guess what? It's on us now. And so when I look and say, what is the hope for the future? And then I look at you guys and I'm going, okay, I think we're good. I think we've got this. So thank you guys for what you do. And I want to encourage you to keep it up, because it is worth it. You're going to see those results. And every day you don't see that right in front of you, but the seed that you're planting, the watering that you're doing, I know the Lord will bless it. So, guys, thank you for what you do. Thank you for taking a few minutes to be with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Fantastic.